Hey guys, I want to show you an example of how ridiculously incompetent judges in tournaments are. This is a prime example. So, I've came here into this room. As you can see, I am checked in. My opponent is not checked in. Checking in is a very important rule that all organizers, whenever they stream, stress everyone about. Guys, don't forget to check in. Don't forget to check in. Make sure you check in. And so my opponent here, as you can see right here, opponent did not check in. He broke a rule, and it is clearly stated in the rules that he is awarded a loss because he didn't check in, which is against the rules, which is always what the organizers stress everyone about every single time. Okay, so what happened here is, again, my opponent did not check in. He calls the judge, tells him he forgot to check in. So what the judge should do is, he should see this, he should check the rules one more time in case he isn't sure, and then he will realize that the only option here is to award my opponent a loss. That is not what happened here. Blah blah blah, playing, that doesn't matter. If we played or not is 100% irrelevant. My opponent broke a very important rule that is clearly stated as a very important rule that, again, the organizers always mention 1,000 times before the tournament starts. Guys, check in, okay? He didn't. Judge comes in, blah blah blah, talks about irrelevant stuff like we are playing, yada yada, which doesn't matter. It's just completely 100% irrelevant. And then he just resets the match. That is against the rules. Right now, not only does my opponent, but also the judge broke a rule. So, once again, this is what happens every single time. 99% of the time, my opponent calls the judge. I'm here with two people against me. Both of these people broke a rule, a very important major rule. Both of these guys broke that right now, and there's nothing I can do against that. I did everything right. Behavior was on point, I was here in time, I checked in, I got the stream open to listen to what Ursi says, right? I did everything 100% correct. My opponent didn't. Calls the judge. Judge comes in, also against me. Bubbles some nonsense that doesn't matter, and then just resets the match. Even though I already won the first match. So why does he have the audacity to reset the match when I already won one game, you know? And he doesn't award my opponent with a loss, which is stated in the rules. Right? I said that 100 times now. I want to be 100% clear with this. Both persons that I'm dealing here with broke a major rule. So of course, I'm not okay with this at all. I said like, wait, what? Why is, you see? Why? He just come in, bubbles nonsense, resets the match, breaks the rule, and pieces out. No, not with me, not again, right? I mean, this is against the rules. I calm down, and I check the rules again, I read them again, and they clearly 100% state that if my opponent does not check in, I win the match. That's it. And then the judge comes in again. Now he's worried because he now knows I checked the rules, and he will know that I will know that I am in the right. So he brings up an excuse. Read this. First round we are lenient because of the amount of people in lag. Doesn't matter. I have the same amount of lag, I deal with the same amount of people, and the website is lagging for me just as they is lagging for everyone else. That doesn't matter. I still managed to check in, my opponent didn't. I didn't break a rule, my opponent did, right? And this happens every single time. Every single time I have an opponent that breaks a rule and is very aware of it and calls the judge to say sorry, the judge is on his side, though he clearly broke a rule. Being lenient because someone breaks a rule is incompetence at its finest. And that is treating me with disrespect and unfair. This is not fair for me. I did everything 100% perfect. My opponent didn't. So he has to deal with a consequence. But he doesn't. I have to deal with the consequences. I am the one being treated unfairly here, right? I did everything right. So comes up with a stupid excuse, which again is just babbling nonsense, says we reset and allow you to play. No, I won my first match already, and he resets the match, and he's again. This is absolutely ridiculous, right? I say this is against the rules. Why does he reset the match? I already won one, and my opponent didn't check in. Both of these people breaking the rules. I say it. He makes a wrong decision that is clearly against the rules and just pieces out. Like, what the fuck are these judges always doing? As I already told you, every time I have a fucking crybaby that calls the judge, everything goes completely against me, and I'm being the one that is treated very unfair and with highly disrespectful. The website was lagging, but yeah, the website is also lagging for me. The website is also lagging for over 1,000 other people. That is not an excuse. Why does everyone else manages to check in, including me, but he's not? No. This is against the rules. You have to make sure to check in. You have over 10 minutes time to check in. Like the website will not lag for 10 minutes straight. You know, that is completely nonsensical garbage that he's bubbling here. And so I keep stating, you didn't check in, but I did. You made the mistake, not me. Why is the call against me if I'm the only one here that didn't make a mistake? I want to understand it. I don't understand it, and the judge is not communicating with me. He's a completely ignorant dumb fuck that babbles nonsense and judges against the rules. And this is by far not the first time this has happened to me. Every time a judge comes in, I'm treated completely unfair, even though I did everything perfectly fine. It's always other people that make the mistakes, that are too dumb to press a fucking button and babble dumb shit like this website was lagging. That is nonsense. As I mentioned before, the website is lagging for me as well. I have over 10 minutes to check in. The website does not lag for 10 minutes straight. It's dumb shit that he's saying. If the judge changed, it's okay. I don't make the rules. Yeah, of course. But the judge doesn't know the rules either. And he's making unfair decisions. And babbles nonsense. And then pieces out. Is not even communicating with anyone here. I'm telling him, the rules state different. They are written down. Everyone can, it's one click to read the rules where it's clearly stated that you have to check in or you lose. Ignorant, see? Can we play? Completely ignorant of the whole situation because he knows he is in the wrong here. You know? And it's not my problem if my opponent is too dumb to check in. This is not on me I did everything right. I can only repeat myself. And I just want everything to be fair. And this is not fair. This is highly disrespectful and unfair to me, who did everything right, you know? Like I won my first match against this clown, and I would have obliterated him a second round, and I could have moved on. But this is not fair, you know? And I'm fucking done being treated like this. Every single time I do everything right, and the crybaby calls the judge, and everything goes against me. I'm sick and done of this shit. That's why I did not continue here. Because it happens time and time again. 99.9% of the times a judge is called, shit always goes against me for no reason, because other people make mistakes and I have to suffer for these mistakes, and I'm not doing that anymore at all. And I say it here, if it's all against me because my opponent made a mistake again, then I'm just dropping out because this is ridiculous. Comes in, hello, what can I help? See, he is an absolute ignorant, brain-dead fucking moron. He already knows what's up here. I've told the entire story, he can read this chat. He's breaking a rule, and he knows it, and that's why he's ignorant. This is again, simply state. I see that. First round we are lenient. Again, bullshit nonsense. What he does here is not being lenient. He's just breaking a rule. I can just repeat it over and over again. He is breaking a rule. If they are lenient on the first round, because of whatever reason they pull out of their ass, it has to be stated in the rules. And it is not stated in the rules that they are quote-unquote lenient in the first round. What is stated in the rules is that if my opponent doesn't check in, he's awarded with a loss. That's his punishment for not checking in and breaking a rule. If both players are here and playing, again, it doesn't matter who is here, who is not, who's winning, it does not matter. My opponent broke a rule. That is what the conversation should be about, and nothing else. But yeah, you can see, they are just pulling nonsensical dog water out of their ass. I can only repeat myself, and I state everything time and time again. And he is saying the same nonsensical dog shit time and time again. He's breaking it. Then of course the only logical conclusion is that I'm out. And this is unfair because I'm getting punished for a mistake that my opponent does. And that is not okay with me. I'm dropping out, bye bye. And only response that comes from the judges, okay. That is all he has to say to all of this, is okay. Like, this is, I even pointed out here, it's so pathetic, and it's incompetence at its very peak. And dropping out is not my decision. I'm kind of forced to drop out here because I'm being treated with insane disrespect, with ignorance, with incompetence, and it's just extremely pathetic. Yeah, and I keep repeating myself. I did not do anything wrong. It's my opponents, it's you two that are breaking the rules here and pulling nonsensical dumb shit out of your asses to be against me for some reason I can't figure out. Oh yeah, and one more thing real quick, in case you don't believe it or you are unaware, whatever it is, I want to show you real quick that it is clearly stated in the rules in every single tournament out there that Check-in starts an hour before the tournament begins. Players who do not check in will be dropped from the tournament. Some tournaments like this one, they drop you from the tournament entirely. You see what did just happen, right? To me, where my opponent did not check in. He didn't face any consequences whatsoever. And other tournaments, they just award a lose, right? You lose one round in case you didn't check in. And then there is a late check-in, so you can come in on the second round, you know? But this one that I just participated in, the one that this chat that I just showed you happened, drops players entirely from the tournament. And you see what just happened to me, you know? So yeah, I hope that was informative. But until next time, have a great day, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.